Well, hello everyone. It is Wednesday and it is time for our free card class. I'm so glad you all could join me. Thank you all very much for being here. I really appreciate it. We're just going to hang for just a second here, let people find us. I did sign on like a minute early, so I just want to give people some time to find me. Oh, let's see here. All right, perfect. Let me just turn my volume off on my phone because you never know. Let's see here. All righty. So we are going to get started. We are going to be making some awesome cards using the Gone Fishing stamp set. As you can see, there's a Happy Father's Day, which is obviously already said and done. But there's some really good sentiments on here. Good things come to those who wait. So glad that you're my dad. Happy retirement. And congrats. So as you can see, the stamp set has some versatility here. So we're going to be focusing on this stamp set. And this is the die set that I use. This is the Gone Fishing die set. These are some awesome dies. So you can die cut out some bobbers and some fish. You can also make a tackle box. And I know I showed you how to make the tackle box several weeks ago. So be sure to check out that video. There's some fishing lures here. This is also an awesome die for cutting out a bunch of labels. So I'm going to be doing a class on that in the next couple weeks, showing you how to use this to make labels for your cards. So be sure to check that out. I should have the new schedule for, let's see, we're in July, for August. So be sure to watch for that. I should be releasing that within the next couple of days. I'm still designing and putting together some cards for that. We're going to have a lot of product-based classes. We're going to have some free classes. Yeah, we have a lot of fun stuff coming up. But the most fun thing that we have coming up in the near future, actually next week, we are going to have a Christmas in July. So I'm doing a series on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. We're going to do some Christmas in July classes, and the kits will be available for purchase, so stay tuned for that. So with all that said, let's go ahead and start crafting. So let's open up our stamp set. Let's get our first bit of supplies. All right, so we are going to start out with some pecan pie cardstock. And let's just fold this in half. Now this is a card class that you can get for free. All you need to do is just place a small order on my website, and I have all the details in the link above attached to this video, so you can check that out and you can earn it for free. Oh, and don't forget, it is bonus days. So in the month of July, for every $50 that you order, you earn a $5 coupon. When you place your order and you get your email with all the coupon codes, you're going to want to save that because you'll need that for August to redeem. And also today, Stampin' Up! Has a sale on stamp sets. You get 15% off of stamp sets. So be sure to check that out. All right, back to crafting. All right, so we have our pecan pie cardstock, and we just folded that in half. All right, next we have some of this really pretty Mossy Meadow. Then I have the Designer Series paper. I have everything all pre-cut for us. So you can see on this piece of cardstock, it has a bunch of these little fish. Aren't they cute? All right, so what we are going to use is this side of the cardstock. So let's attach this. Yeah, I'm just so excited. There's so many things happening within these next couple of weeks. Next week, Christmas in July. The studio will be opening soon-ish. So I have a lot of work to do on that. All right, so we just attach that. And also for the people that are local in Adams Friendship, Wisconsin, Sidewalk Days is coming the first weekend in August. I have a bunch of embossing powder all over my desk. So you'll be sure to want to check out my booth at Sidewalk Days. Now here I cut out another piece of the Designer Series paper, and I'm going to attach this onto our other piece of Mossy Meadow. So now we're going to use both sides of this one piece of cardstock. All right, then we will flip this over and add some dimensionals. Yeah, it's just so much going on. I'm so excited. Working on planning my August and September classes. There's so many fun things coming up. All right. So what we are going to do then is take this piece and attach it to our first layer, just like that. And we'll flip this over, and we want to attach it to our card base. And we're just going to do that flat because we don't want too much bulk. So when it goes through the post office, they're not going to complain that there's too much bulk and try and charge you extra. All right, so we're just going to put this on the side for a moment. I have a label that's been die cut, and we're going to stamp our sentiment. So we are going to use good things come to those who wait. There we go. And I think I'm going to use Pebble Path. This is one of our new colors. So juice that up. Oh, we need our black mat, because then you get a better stamped image. There we go. That's awesome. So I hope everyone is having an awesome summer. I know summer's kind of going by so quickly. All right, so we'll put our mat on the side, and let's put some dimensionals on the back. All right. So don't forget to join me next week for Christmas in July. I have a bunch of cute classes set up for that. I'll be posting all the information on that probably by the end of the week. All right, so I did already go ahead and stamp a bobber, and I stamped it in Pebbled Path, and then I went ahead and I took my blending pen, I'm losing it today, with the boho blue, and I colored that. So we're just going to put a dimensional on the back. Sorry, just a little scattered. I've been just in planning mode. So we're just going to put that on here, just like that. And I did go ahead and I die cut out these little lure pieces. So we're going to attach those. And I'm just going to attach those with a mini glue dot, because a mini dimensional would not be enough, or it would be too much to hide behind the small piece. So we're just going to put a little piece on there. Put that right about there. One more. Make sure I have the right side showing. I'll take another one and put that just up a little higher. All right, and here we have our first card. Isn't that fun? So this could go for a lot of different things. On the inside, if you use a darker pen, you should be fine. Otherwise, you could always put a piece of the Very Vanilla in here so that you have a little brighter writing surface. So here's our first card. All right, card number 2. Let's get our supplies out. So here we have our Mossy Meadow cardstock. Just going to fold this in half, and for those of you that get the class for free, you will get a tutorial with all the exact measurements. All right, so this one is kind of a fun fold card. So we have this folded in half. Now what we're going to do is grab our paper trimmer, and we are going to trim at the 1-inch mark, and we're only going to go to the fold. So put our blade up at the top, and go to the 1 inch. And what's nice about this paper trimmer is you can see where you need to stop, and on the blade it does have some little arrows, so it helps you line up. Just going to flip it over and do the 1-inch mark again on the same side. Right there. Okay, I'm gonna put this on the side. All right, so we have all these little flaps. And what we do next is we're going to take a piece of the Very Vanilla, and we're going to put it in the center. Okay, but before we do that, we're going to fold these sides down so that we can center this correctly. So we will take our adhesive and put an adhesive strip, 1 strip on each side. So we're just going to fold that down just like that. Now we will take our Very Vanilla and we'll attach that. So thank you again for joining me. Please put in the comments, let me know that you're here, send me some likes or some hearts. Really appreciate that. All right, so then I have some more of the designer cardstock, and this is cut, I believe, at 3/4 inch. So we'll put adhesive on the back. I want to make sure they're facing the right way. We'll just center that. Let's do the other side. And make sure that's facing the right direction. Let's put that down. Awesome. All right, so that is the inside part of the card. Now let's decorate the front flap. All right, so now I have this designer series paper. Again, we have the little fish. I'm going to center that right here on the top. Oh, there we go. And we'll just center that right there. All right, now I need to get my ribbon. I'm going to use this wavy trim, and I know I've used this before. Isn't that pretty? I just absolutely love it. All right, so all we're going to do is put a strip right here in the center. So what I want to do is, let's see, I'm just trying to remember how I laid that out, how I glued that down. Let's grab some of our liquid glue, and we'll just put a strip right across the center. You don't need a whole lot. And then what we'll do, we'll measure out what we want, and we'll trim. And lay it over the glue. We'll just tap it down a little bit. This stuff does adhere quickly. So it gives you just enough time if you needed to move it or slide it over, you can do that. All right, so leave that and let's do some stamping. So this is going to be a retirement card. There's always people that are retiring. Now, if you wanted to use the Happy Retirement stamp, but it's for a person that really doesn't care for fishing, there's lots of other designer series papers that you can use with the same card layout. And again, if you do get the kit, then you get the tutorials, and you can always swap out the stamp set. You can always swap out the designer paper. So hold on to those tutorials because you can always change everything up. It just gives you a good reference point as to how to lay out a card. All right. So let's attach this to our Mossy Meadow. I used I think it was the Lovely Label punch, and I punched that out. And we'll lay this part of it flat. So let's put this right in the center. Just like that. All right, so we'll flip it over. And we'll add some dimensionals. Yeah, so just a quick update on the studio. We finally got things figured out for the zoning and the permits and all that. We kind of ran into a little snafu when our contractor somehow did not pull permits. So we had to get that all figured out, and yeah, it was just a hot mess. All right, so that is all figured out. Now we got the go ahead to finish up everything else. So my husband, he's been doing drywall. We did the wiring. I actually learned how to put in an outlet. I was so proud of myself. My husband, he was so patient with me, showing me how to do all that. And some of you are probably thinking, oh, that's the easiest thing in the world. But it was brand new for me. All right, so here's card number 2. Nice fun fold. And again, if you wanted to use this with different designer paper, you can most certainly do that. A different sentiment. I just love this fun fold. I think it's awesome. All right, so card number 2 is finished. Let's do card number 3. So we're going to take our Very Vanilla, the thick, and we'll fold this in half. Just like that. And then I have this Wild Wheat. This is one of our new colors. Now, I'm going to be honest, when I saw this color, at first, when it first came out, I was not thrilled. But as I started using it and playing with it, I like it a little more. So, all right, we're going to attach this flat. Isn't it funny how, you know, it's kind of like clothes on a shelf at the store. You're kind of looking at it and you're like, yeah, no. But then when you try it on, it's like, oh, well, that is a really pretty shirt or a skirt or something. You just never know until you use it. All right, so we have that on our card base. Now, I have some more designer series paper, and I had already pre-cut. So you could use any side that you wanted, but for our purpose, we're going to use the little fishing poles. We're going to have that showing, and we're just going to do that flat. All right, we'll just put this right up at the top. Just like that. All right, then we're going to use this ribbon again. I'll just slide our card open, get it underneath, make sure it's flat. And we're going to tie a bow. Let's just trim off a piece here. Probably way more than I needed. That's all right. All right, so I'll tie a bow. It's not too bad for bow tying. It's a little stiffer. All right, well, you know what? That looks upside down. So what we're going to do, take it off. Let's flip it around. There we go. And we're just going to line it up right at the seam where the designer series paper meets the regular cardstock. And then I want to slide it over. I want it more towards the edge, just like that. Trim this. We'll just fray the edges a little. I should make this one a little shorter. There we go. Perfect. Now I have some more designer series paper, and I'm just going to kind of make this into a banner. So when I do my banners freehand, what I do is I take my scissors and I just do a little snip to the center. Then I go from corner to the top of that snip. And I'll go from the other corner to the top of the snip. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And we'll cut right down the center. Corner to the center of the snip. Corner to the center of the snip. All right, and we'll glue this flat. Don't forget to take advantage of the stamp sale today. It's 15% off of any of the stamp sets in the annual catalog. So you'll definitely want that. All right, so then I'm going to use So Glad That You're My Dad. So dads can always use a card. It doesn't have to be just during Father's Day. Alright, so let's put that right in the center, I hope. Alrighty. Yeah, so when I'm done with this video, then I'd have to go and place my order for my stamp sets. All right, let's grab some dimensionals. And now, because we want to put this over this ribbon, you don't want to put the dimensionals on the sides. You'll want to put one at the top, one at the bottom, or you could do one in each corner. If you put them in the center, you're going to end up with part of your dimensional on the ribbon, part of it off, and your label's going to teeter. And you just really don't want that. All right, so up at the top and one at the bottom. All right, so let's just put this right here, the center of the card, or center of the banner that I cut. There we go. Here is card number 3. Quick, easy, love it. All right, so our last card that we're doing, it has much brighter colors. Absolutely love it. So we have this boho blue. Again, all the measurements are in the tutorial. We're just going to simply fold this in half, This is a very simple card. This is a great card that you can use to use up some of your scrap designer series paper. All right, so we have that. Now I have this awesome fish paper. Isn't that cool? I love it. So we're just going to lay them out and try and match up how I cut it. I probably should have had that all thought out ahead of time. But you know what, I guess it doesn't really matter. All right, so I think he goes, whatever. All right, let's just grab some of these pieces and we'll lay them on. All right, so we have 4 pieces. Again, all the dimensions in the tutorial. And come and see me at Sidewalk Days. That's the first weekend in August. All of the local businesses in town are going to have some booths set up showing all their awesome products that they have. So let's see here. All right, so I'll put that right here. Now I am going to end up with a bigger space, but that's all right because we're going to trim out a small piece to put in the center. We just need a small piece, and that's the beauty of paper crafting. You can always fudge something here. So I'll probably do, let's try 1/2 inch. Probably a little too big. Yep. We'll just cut that down just a tad. We'll just cut that in half. Perfect. All right. So let's put some adhesive on here. Whoop. So these are some awesome cards. Absolutely love it. So we're just going to put that right in the center. There we go. Now we have some die cuts in the boho blue and in the very vanilla. What we're going to do is stamp on our very vanilla, and we'll make this one a retirement card as well. So I don't think we need a Father's Day card right now, but you could always, you know, make one. Better late than never, I guess. All right, so let's juice that up. And let's stamp that right in the center. Awesome. We'll just attach this. We're going to use dimensionals. Let's see here, I need a fresh pack. All right, so I'll just put this right in the center here. Perfect. We'll lay this flat on our card. See, these go by quick. So if I went too fast and you're trying to make these cards, you can always watch the replay. Also, if you're getting the kit, you'll have all the dimensions. All right, so then I went ahead and I pre-stamped this little fishing lure, and I die cut it out, and I'm going to just attach it quickly onto our card. I had done it ahead of time just to kind of save on some time. There we go. And then I have these little bits from the prior card, and we're just going to put a little glue on here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use a little glue dot. We'll use that instead. I'm just going to grab one of these small pieces, that right on there. All right, well, here is card number 4. So let's pull out all the cards that we made. And let's see here, we got that one. Again, this is all with the Gone Fishing stamp set. All right, so here are the 4 awesome cards that we made. So in the kit, if you'd like to receive the free kit, again, all you do is place a small order. I do have all the exact information in the link above. You will get to make a total of 8 cards, so you will get to make 2 of each of these cards. You will get all the supplies, the tutorials, the ribbon, everything is all die cut for you. The only thing you will not get will be the stamped images. I cannot send stamped images in the mail. I do have the info for the stamp set. You can always swap out with what you have as well. You also get the envelopes and all that fun stuff. So this is what we have for our free card class this week. And I will see you all next week when we do Christmas in July. It's going to be a series going Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all at 2 o'clock. And I'm going to be having 3 different classes showing you a bunch of different Christmas cards. Things that we can make and have fun and all that kind of stuff. So until then, I will see you all later. Have a fabulous rest of the week and God bless. Bye-bye.